Let's talk about the cheating cheaters who cheat using bugs in Star Citizen. I'm not even going to touch on wall hacks, speed hacks, wall clipping, insta-kills, combat cheats, crime stat cheats, or anything like that. Citizens who decide to use actual hacks deserve nothing less than to be scraped off the boot of Star Citizen, even if it's an alpha. Y'all, I'm just a regular guy who enjoys gaming. You can take my opinion as a grain of salt. You do not need to glorify or lose your mind over something that is as simple as my opinion. Keep in mind, I've been an active bug tester in Star Citizen for 5 years. I have only taken a break from that recently, and before then, I can assure you that over 75% of my gameplay time was dedicated to tracking down bugs that by design can hurt the gameplay of Star Citizen. If you define someone who actively looks for ways to break the game by finding or creating bugs in the system, then I, Hawks Gaming, for the last 5 years, has been a cheater. I also worked with people who were like-minded that wanted to find ways to break the game as well. Together we were able to re-break and discover many more economic bugs patch after patch, all reported to CIG. During the height of our discovery, I shared one final bug publicly as a bug report. Now back then, I felt like our team was basically doing God's work. That might very well have been the case, but once you see the aftermath of it happening across almost all servers in all regions, you understand that doing so creates way more harm than getting the bugs fixed. In this case, it was extreme server lag due to abandoned ships after duping. This is why I will not share economic bugs anymore. Let's talk about a few things. The first one being, Star Citizen is an alpha. Yes, we all forked out money, some of us a lot more than others, but don't fool yourself. We are all just alpha bug testing with fake gameplay right now. The only thing that truly matters are the bonds we make inside Star Citizen while we learn and prepare for how to play the game when Star Citizen 1.0 releases. Every single patch I have seen over the last 5 years has always either had a dupe, a refinery bug, or some type of commodity bug attached to the patch. A lot of them are just variations of previous bugs that were already patched. So if a new one arises, chances are it's coming back after it's patched. By definition, even though I am a bug tester, I'm a cheater if you want to be black and white in how you think. Many times after discovering a bug, I tested more than was necessary, using that money to buy ships in-game or give noobs some money so they could buy some ships. You know what usually happens though? I got bored because I had nothing to work for anymore, then took a break. One thing I do not agree with is RMT, where somebody actively sells AUEC for money by exploiting bugs in-game. I might be a cheater. I might even be cheating for personal in-game progress after a rush of finding another bug. RMT though, for actual real-world gain, should be bannable each and every time, even if the game is an alpha. This seems to be CIG's current stance anyway, so it is what that is. Should anyone else get banned or slapped on the wrist for cheating using an in-game bug? As it stands now with Star Citizen being an alpha, no, as long as you're not doing RMT. Once the game fully releases, then temp bans or full bans should be something that happens every single time. Here is my reasoning as a gamer and a YouTube creator who has worked with dev teams across multiple games. I have never once made a public video of an economy bug or anything like that in a full released game. In this example, I'll use Elite Dangerous. Before I created the video on how to make billions AFK in Elite, I ran the idea across the dev team to make sure it would not break the actual rules. In my opinion, it did not, as it was using 100% of the in-game mechanics without bugs of any kind. The devs gave me the green light to go on the video, and I also knew they would find a way to patch it, so Blitz and I came up with a backup plan that didn't break the rules once again and could not be patched. All these years later, it still works. If it was a bug or broke the TOS in any way, since it's a full release game, then I would have never made that video public. Finding bugs and game testing in an alpha is what we all paid to do. I'm sorry, but that's true. The very essence of bug testing is finding ways to break the game so the code can be cobbled back together in such a state that the backdoor for those bugs are fully closed. just expect CIG to slap your account down like a red-headed stepchild if you abuse bugs after the 1.0 release. There is a really big difference between cheating now and cheating then, as it will destroy the game's economy. Citizens, if I had $1 for every single time I heard someone say, cheating destroys the economy in Star Citizen, I would be richer than Chris Roberts at this point. I'm not trying to be hurtful to anyone that feels that way, but I hope they are kidding. As it stands now, we do not have an economy or anything that even resembles an economy in Star Citizen yet. A cheating cheater who cheats in Star Citizen right now can't do any harm to something that doesn't exist. I'm not saying it's cool to see 20 people standing around duping Janolite like crazy for hours on end across multiple servers, but the game in its current state almost encourages it. I know that might sound dumb from the outside looking in, but it's true. This goes right back to the heart of the matter. There has always been a way to cheat your progress with every single patch over the last 5 years. Now, if I had to guess, it's been going on way longer than that. As far as an economy goes, let me use this example. I want to compare the current state of Star Citizen with the economy in EVE Online. In EVE, every single mineable has a purpose. Every piece of loot that you get from anything that you do in the game has a reason to exist. Every single ship or weapon is built by a player who gathered or bought those materials to make them. Each item's value can depend on its current location in the galaxy of EVE. The majority of ISK or money you earn is made through the act of selling items to other players. That is an economy. Star Citizen has nothing even resembling this. It currently has a server tick that creates excess or scarcity. That is all. In the grand scheme of things, right now, it does not matter if you, the citizen, sells 1 billion SU of Quantanium that was duped to a TDD. It literally affects nothing unless you RMT, because nothing in Star Citizen is our current game economy. But Hawks, they can buy better ships and kick my butt or dupe stuff to craft a fleet of Polarises from Wicklow. It's unfair! I see your point. However, from my experience, that is always going to happen in an alpha state game in some form. The bigger problem has always been how Star Citizen has been marketed to us. From the outside looking in, if you were exposed to Star Citizen for the first time, you would think the game looked like it was in a solid state for years now. Every commercial I have ever seen makes Star Citizen look so next level. It's pretty much a shut up and take my money moment for a lot of people who like space. Then they buy a ship package and find out, but thankfully it's a way better gaming experience, all cheating aside. Once you fully understand you paid money to break the game first, with the gameplay element being a secondary layer that also needs testing as it evolves, you'll be in a way better place. Thankfully, Star Citizen is getting more playable and enjoyable. Don't forget the primary reason why we are all here besides supporting the dream. We're here to find bugs so they can be fixed before full release. That is what it truly means to participate in an alpha release. The waters are just a little muddy, and it 100% has to do with how Star Citizen has been marketed, coupled with full public access if you buy in. This topic is going to be polarizing to a lot of people. One side will agree with my opinions on this topic, and the other side will hold firm in their belief that bug testers like myself are just cheaters who ruin the game for everyone, even if Star Citizen is currently in an alpha state. Now, I can assure you, most of the citizens are not actual bug testers who have tested in multiple games before. They are likely those who desire a finished game experience before the game is actually finished. Here are a few examples of what does hurt the game. Now, if you're an old timer like myself, you remember when that entire org used auto clickers for multiple days duping gems? It caused such a huge problem that they effectively killed the back end for every single player who tried to play Star Citizen during that time. Only after they broke the entire game for everyone did they come forward to CIG with how to replicate and ultimately probably defend against what was similar to a DDoS attack. Their actions caused every single player's bank balances to be set to 0. For multiple days, the game became completely unplayable until CIG fixed the damage the org had created. The next example is my own that I have talked about a few times now over the years. You never truly understand the impact of sharing a bug publicly that has a side effect of causing massive server lag as a duplication byproduct. On a small scale, it had no effect. Once shared publicly, everyone and their mom did it, creating massive amounts of abandoned ships. Trust me, there are many ways to make sure CIG gets a step-by-step bug report even if you don't use their bug report forums or post a video publicly. That is always going to be a personal choice, one I chose poorly on until I saw the side effect myself. Never once did CIG go, "Bad Hawks, you are bad," even though it caused obvious harm to the servers for a little while. What's bad is when players pick a side about game bugs, draw a line in the space sand, and view other players as their enemy due to having an opposite opinion on how to test. You can choose to see the way I test bugs as cheater behavior, get super pissed off and rip into me or anyone else like me. That is your personal choice of how you decide to treat people. I just hope that anyone who feels this way understands that both of our goals are exactly the same. We want a bug-free game release. We do not want wipes due to any economic shenanigans after 1.0 comes. What we all want is a smooth gaming experience that has substance, depth, and longevity. Now, if you do decide to pick a side, then pick the side against RMT and actual hack programs that give players dev commands. Those are the actual players you should focus all your dark side rage and hate upon, trust me. Hack clients are running rampant right now. They are causing more harm to the actual gameplay experience than almost anything I have ever seen in Star Citizen to date. But you know, we'll talk about that in another video.